A teacher is a very special person for a child. Being inquisitive and curious, they have too many questions to ask about the teacher. Hello everyone, I am Kapila here to read one such poem written by Peter DIXON, Where Do All the Teachers Go? Let's begin. Where do all the teachers go when it's 4 o'clock? Do they live in houses? And do they wash their socks? So here the poet is wondering where the teachers go after 4 o'clock when the school gets over, and he has many questions, and in the line of those questions he first asks whether they live in houses and if they wash their socks. Do they wear pyjamas and do they watch TV? And do they pick their noses the same as you and me? Further, in the line of questions, he asks whether they wear the pajamas, they watch television, and do they pick their nose? That is, do they put their finger inside their nose like all ordinary normal people like you and me? Do they live with other people? Have they mums and dads? And were they ever children, and were they ever bad? So being curious and very inquisitive, and because the teacher is really special, the child asks the question here that if they have got any parents, if they live with other people, if they have mums and dads, and were the teachers also ever children, and were they really bad, like all the children have got bad habits, were the teachers also bad when they were young, if they were young anytime? Did they ever never spell right? Did they ever make mistakes? Were they punished in the corner if they pinched the chocolate flakes? Now these are more questions coming up in the mind of the child. He further asks if they ever made mistakes. Were they able to learn the spellings? Because children often they are very bad at spellings. So did they make mistakes, and were they punished? Were they made to stand in the corner of a room as a punishment? And if they pinched the chocolate flakes, you must have seen children, they gather around the cakes when a cake is being cut, and small young children, what they do is they just pinch a flake of the chocolate from there. So the child is wondering if the teacher has ever done that. Did they ever lose their hymn books? Did they ever leave their greens? Did they scribble on desktops? Did they wear old dirty jeans? Further, he has more questions, and he is wondering if the teachers have ever lost the hymn books. Hymn is the songs that are dedicated to God, that are written in the praise of God. So that's a hymn book where you have, you call them bhajans in India. So those are the hymn books. And if they were lost by the teachers, that is what the child is wondering, because children often lose their books. Then further he is also wondering if they left the greens there. The greens are the green vegetables there that were given to the teachers when they were young. Did they ever leave the green vegetables there in the plates? And he's also wondering if, like all the other children, the teachers also scribbled there on the desktops. You must have seen children, they are just sitting idle there. They have a pen or a pencil or a compass in the hand, and they just scribble there, write anything, or just make signs or just lines there on the table. That is scribbling. So have the teachers done that when they were really young? And the children, they have their favorite dresses. So they keep on wearing the dress, that same dress, day after day. So did the teachers also do the same? They kept on wearing the dirty jeans day after day. So these are the questions that he's asking. I'll follow one back home today. I'll find out what they do. Then I'll put it in a poem that they can read to you. Now this the poet is saying. Who is I over here? I is the poet. So the poet is telling all the readers that one day he will follow the teacher. Any teacher he's going to follow, and he'll find out what the teachers do. And then he would be writing whatever his findings are in the form of a poem. He'll write, and then they are the teachers. Now again, the teachers are going to read the poem to you. That poem will be read by the teachers to you, which the poet has written about the findings of what the teachers do. Okay, so that poem he is going to write, and the teachers are going to read that poem to you. You are the children, the readers there. Now let's do the question answers. Why does the poet want to know where the teachers go at 4 o'clock? The poet wants to know where the teachers go at 4 o'clock because for him, a teacher is not ordinary. He or she is very special, and he doesn't think he would be living like normal people. Question 2. What are the things normal people do that the poet talks about? The normal things that the normal people do and the poet is talking about are they wash their socks, they watch television, they wear pajamas, and they pick their nose. Question 3. What does he imagine about where teachers live? So part by part I'm going to answer. The first part, the answer is, the poet imagined if the teachers lived in houses with their mums and dads. Second part, what they do at home. The poet imagines if the teachers washed their socks at home, watched television, wore pajamas and picked nose. The people with whom they live. The poet imagined if they lived with their mums and dads. Fourth part, their activities when they were children in school. The poet imagines that when the teachers were in school, did they misspell the words? Did they pinch the chocolates? Were they ever punished? Did they ever lose their hymn books? Did they scribble the desktops? And did they wear the dirty jeans? Question 4. Why does the poet wonder if teachers also do things that other people do? The poet wonders if the teachers also do the things that other people do because for him a teacher is really special, ideal and perfect, and he cannot imagine that a teacher would be living a normal life like ordinary people. Question 5. How does the poet plan to find out? What will he do once he finds out? The poet plans to follow a teacher one day. Then he would find out what a teacher does. Then he would pen it down in the form of a poem, which would be further read by a teacher to the readers or the children. Now question 2. It has got phrases and we are supposed to give the meaning of these phrases. The phrase that is given here on number 1 is punished in the corner. Punished in the corner is when the teachers are there in the class, they keep observing the students, and when anything wrong is done, they make the child stand in the corner of the class as a punishment. Now number 2 is leave their greens. It is often found that the young children do not like the green leafy vegetables that are cooked and given to them, and so they often leave the vegetables there in the plate itself, or they dump it in the dustbin. So this was the poem that took us to the wonderland of a child imagining various questions about the teacher. We'll meet in some other video with some other imagination. Till then, take care.